Hello everyone, I have invented a new engine. Before we deal with my engine, let's see about some of the engine. Two-stroke petrol engine. With the aid of oxygen, fuel and spark plug heat, the combustion is formed in the engine cylinder. The energy so generated pushes the piston, thereby the engine gets activated. Resultantly, the carbon dioxide is emitted as smoke. This is open type engine. It's a steam engine. The engine activates due to the steam generated while heating coal and water in the boiler. This is open type engine. Mr. Robert Stirling has invented closed type hot air engine. In this process, the air which is present in the engine cylinder is heated and the pressure emanated thereof activates the engine. However, these types of engine could not be used for motor vehicles due to the usage of working fluids such as hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, air. Besides, water could not be used as working fluids in a closed type engine because of its Leaden-Frost effect. If a drop of water is spilled on a hot metal plate, the water so dropped does not get converted into steam immediately because in between the water dropped and the hot metal plate, a steam layer having 0.1 mm thickness is formed, which prevents the water from getting converted into steam immediately. This is called as Leaden-Frost effect. On the other hand, if water is spilled on hot oil, we can see in slow motion the water so dropped gets converted into steam immediately because of two things. The boiling point of the water is lesser than the smoke point of the oil, and the density of the water is higher than the oil. As both the hot oil and water are fluids, by the heat convection current, the respective heat of the water and oil gets shared. As at this point the average temperature of oil is higher than the boiling point of water, water gets converted into steam immediately. Now, let us analyze the difference between these two. By the swift explosion of steam, efficient closed type steam engine could be created. Now, let's see about my engine. This is a closed type steam engine. Let us see the parts of the engine: flywheel, closed operating cylinder, power piston, displacer piston, cooler, heater. The blue color particle present in the closed operating cylinder is wet steam and the red color present is dry steam. Water and oil has to be poured into the closed operating cylinder of this engine. When it is heated, in between the boiling point of water and smoking point of oil, the oil gets converted into heat transfer fluid and the water gets converted into working fluid, which enables the engine to get activated. This engine will function in 4 stages, namely heating, expansion, cooling and contraction. At the heating stage, the wet steam absorbs the heat from the surface of the hot oil and converts into dry steam. At the expansion stage, the dry steam gets expanded. The expanded dry steam pushes the power piston upwards. As a result, flywheel rotates. Simultaneously, by the movement of flywheel, the displacer piston moves downwards and replaces the expanded dry steam into cooler. At the cooling stage, dry steam loses its heat in the cooler and gets itself converted into wet steam. At the contraction stage, the wet steam gets contracted. As a result, the power piston moves downwards and so flywheel rotates. Simultaneously, by the movement of flywheel, the displacer piston moves upward and replaces the contracted wet steam on the hot oil surface. In all these 4 stages, the same steam recycles itself in the closed operating cylinder and activates the engine. In order to know more about the engine which I invented, let us see the functioning of the displacer piston. In the displacer piston, the water flows upwards and downwards. In the same way, due to the presence of displacer piston, The steam flows upwards and downwards into the cooler and the heater. The temperature change which forms in this process gets converted into pressure change which moves the power piston upwards and downwards. This activates the engine. This engine activates due to combination of steam explosion and hot air engine. Let's see about the uses of my engine. This engine can be designed in such a way so that it can be used in all automobiles, aircrafts, boats, etc. by specifically modifying that. The electric energy required for functioning of the engine will be generated by engine itself. Therefore, there is no necessity for usage of petrol, diesel, LPG gas, coal, etc. Electric power can be generated with this engine by ourselves without any costs. By using the engine, power cut will be eliminated permanently. There is no requirement for electricity power generation through non-renewable sources such as atomic power plant, coal power plant, natural gas power plant, etc. Similarly, the renewable energy sources such as windmill power plant, solar power plant, hydropower plant, etc. could be dispensed with. The government spends several thousands of crores for sourcing electric power generation and petroleum products, and if this engine is used, it will be a thing of the past. This engine can be utilized for the agricultural purpose. This will result in yet another green revolution. This engine will not result in any environmental pollution as this is closed type electrical heat engine. This engine will not emit any greenhouse gases in any manner. Further, the environmental problem witnessed in the present day such as ozone layer depletion, global warming, climatic change could be a thing of the past. This engine will only produce natural resource for sustainable development. This engine is an eco-friendly engine. For an example, this is an 18 HP open type steam engine. By using final temperature of fluid formula and steam table to convert an open type engine having 18 HP into a closed type steam engine, the input energy required for working fluid and heat transfer fluid will be 1 HP. After subtracting the input energy 1 HP from the output energy 18 HP, the balance output gain 17 HP can be utilized for the functioning of the vehicle or generation of electricity. The engine can also be started with the help of inverter battery. I had struggled a lot to invent this engine. I had spent around 10 years in the process of inventing this engine by resorting to various places and researching many procedures in order to take this invention to its next level. Now I need help from government or private sector to develop my invention. If I get the desired support, I'm certain and hopeful of utilizing the invention which I made for the welfare and development of this world within 1 year to secure energy independence.
Thank you.